day, so I will do pretty much the same like today in the morning. If you follow me, I'm working on a few Omega Speedmaster Mark II watches, so I've already just refinished all the surfaces and back to dimensions. So in this stream we will do the down chamfer. Here on this case you can see there's still a welding spot, so I will pre-grind it with 1000 grit on the lapping disc. Then we go to 7000 grit, and then we do the polish of all the high glossy surfaces. So we would start with this surface first here on the lapping machine. Thanks, I'm fine, yeah. From Costa Rica, wow, wow. Lovely country. Yeah. So slowly the down chamfer, I will lap it. The welding spots, I'm not sure if you can see it. Here, audio back. So yes, this chamfer, we will lap it, pre-lapping the down chamfer. I'm fine with that. Push. Other side. So I pre-lapped now the down chamfer. I will do it on this case as well. Here it's not so in such a bad shape. So just one more second, then I will switch the lapping disc to a higher grid. I'm now on 1000 grid, so I will do the step after is 7000 grid, so then you will see the difference a lot better. Yeah, hopefully it's not too boring. Speed it up. Okay. Keep on talking, yeah. After that comes the more interesting things, yeah. But this needs to be done. So I'm fine with that. Tape just fucked up here. The lapping disc. I taped the table as well. Doesn't have to be too accurate, only to secure the upper surface of the case. Won't be too scratchy then. Zack. So this is grid, and I will use now a bit of grease on it. This will make the surface more smooth, and with higher grids you need to have oil or paper or something, oil or grease. I'm using for lapping, I'm always using grease because oil will spread all over the room. So this is just lapping grease. I always buy it in a very big box. So if you start the lapping disc, you just slightly put a bit on it. That's it. And then You hear it from the sound. It's a totally different grit here. It's more like polishing, or it is polishing, but flat polishing. You can see here. Wait, I will zoom in. Right. You can see it's already polished only by touching it, yeah. Are the lapping machines self-made? Yeah, they are. I will explain later around my machines. Today in the morning also somebody asked me this in the morning stream, why I'm using my own lapping machines instead of industrial ones. Yeah, fine. So second case, same. I'll put it a bit more like that. So that's it for the down chamfer. Where are you working at, Vintwatches? What do you mean? I'm in my workshop in Osnabrück, Germany. So this is Omega Speedmaster Mark II. I lapped all the high glossy surfaces, the down chamfer, the upper chamfer is already lapped, and the looks as well, yeah, to 7,000 grit. It's enough for this case. What I need to do now before polishing is to do the downside of the case. This I will do in 2 steps. I will use one wheel on the other lapping machine with 1,000 grit, and then I go to the belt grinder with 2,000 grit, and then polishing it. So we will change to this lapping machine here. Very easy. We change just the disc to a wheel. So here comes the wheel, blue tape 1000, grit 1000. Small holes from laser welding, yeah. Laser welding, yeah, laser welding is very difficult. I had many problems with holes in my life, but at the end, in welding, it has to do so much with the experience, with the flow of argon, and with settings of your machine. And each laser welding machine is different, so you can't have a setting from firm. I don't know what are you using, but you can't compare the firms between. Every machine is different, so the most important thing in welding is that you have the right flow of argon and the really matching settings to the steel you are welding with. For example, Omega is 316L steel, so the steel is different from Rolex steel 94L. You will need to find a setting that the metal really is like floating. So like you have an ice cream that is melting a bit. If you are welding, it really needs to like a liquid. And it has to be shiny. If you have not shiny spots, you won't have a great result at the end. I'm new to your channel, Geneva, Switzerland. Yeah, welcome. So this is the pre-grinding of the backside. Always a bit hard to film. Wait a second. Maybe like that. So the backside of the Mark II is not constructed very difficult. It's curved and the finish is very rough. If you see a NOS case, you can see how they turned it out with a mill. I think they did it with a mill. So you see small lines even when it's NOS. So it doesn't have to be too perfect, the downside surface. But I will lap it like that I go inside with grit 1000. And now you can see here, I will zoom. It has still scratches, yeah, but you don't have a blurring or something in this surface. It just gets flat with a bit scratches, and this we will grind away the scratches on the 2000 grit later. Doesn't have to be too accurate. A brass case, yeah. The brass case had a gold plating, so I used gold, 18 karat gold. Brass is not a problem at all. Brass is not very, it's very simple to weld it. But the problem is with plating on it, that if you are welding plating, and for example the plating is 18 carats, then if you go with the welder into the plating and the brass, you will have at the end at the spot something like 9 carats or whatever. So that's why always if you weld platings, you need to have at the end to replate it, yeah, to have a homogeneous finish. You can't weld a plating and then have the same finish like the plating solution itself. It's not possible. Here this edge, it's a bit shitty. Yeah, I'm fine with that. From Rome, yeah. My brother-in-law was living in Rome, so I've been there many times. Great city. Guten Abend, viele Grüße aus Bayern. Hallo, Herr Denk, ja. if I offer services from to UK, of course, I have many customers in UK, all over the world. So next step for the backside is I will grind the backside now on the belt grinder. I have 2000 grit on it. As said before, it doesn't have to be too accurate. Yeah. Oh, the belt is running out of central. Go back, please. Yeah. This very quickly. So that's it on the belt grinder. Next step, polishing. So the first step will be just a regular felt wheel. You can see it's dirty. I used it today the whole day. So sorry for that, but I will clean it first. Just very quickly. So yeah, this is always allowed. I will use green paste and just a regular felt wheel. And I will put polishing paste also to the sides. You will see it when I'm working on the back side after. It's so cool if you are using also the sides, because you can polish also then like that. And this won't break too much the corner here. So the felt wheel is not always usable from the top. You can also use the sides. They are very useful. So green paste on that, polishing paste. I will now also pre-polish all surfaces that they will be high polished. So very slightly. second case as well. So this was the pre-polishing of all the glossy surfaces. Last step by polishing, and then comes the more interesting parts, the refinish of the grinding patterns. I used this wheel also today. I will give it also a very short clean. So this is a very standard job, yeah. Just polish all the glossy surfaces. This step is just for the shine. So now the more interesting parts will come of this case. Parameters on the laser welding for new material on the Rolex case. What laser welder are you using? Which brand, Martin? What grid wheels do you use for touching up brushed surfaces? Yeah, brushed surfaces can go from 400 to 320, 240, 180. It depends what watch. Omega is working a lot with 240 and 320, especially the vintage ones. A brushed surface is always a brushed surface. It depends what material you are using under the sandpaper. Yeah, if you are using rubber, it looks different from wood or from steel. So each surface has different finish. For example, this case has only brushing from hard surfaces. But for example, the new Mark II model I posted today one, there the sides they used a rubber wheel, so it's more the brushing lines are more they are straight in one line, but they have between it. This comes always from rubber. It's not you can't do it on a very harsh surfaces. The signature Omega brushed finish. Yeah, I'm using just the technique like they did before. So as you see, a cheap Mark II case, I mean the watches they will run about regular Mark II, even in a good state, will be like 2,500 euros or something. But they are a lot of work to refinish them. Yeah, you have many different surfaces. The pattern is switching from A to B, so it's not a simple case. And if you fucked up this line here where the crystal sits, it looks like an Easter egg or something. Very horrible if it's not homogeneous and a round surface. So this case is tricky at the end because you have this sunburst grinding pattern and very, very many lapped sharp surfaces. Yeah. Warm regard from Israel. Yeah, Tel Aviv is a nice city. If the war is over, I will come to visit again. Best food in the world. So here is I used the table for pre-grinding. So the angle I didn't change it. When I brought back these cases to symmetry, I left it. All the cases I did 17 in a row now. So I left all the cases in the same angle, and the pre-shaping angle should be also the angle of the finish at the end. So the pattern of the sunburst grinding pattern, I will do it in 2 steps, or actually 3 steps. Before I brought back the symmetry of the case and the dimensions. Now I will, just because of the polishing and all the other steps, I will just give it a soft touch to the wheel again, to just resharp those edges. And then we will go to this machine, the belt sander, and there I will do the finish of the sunburst grinding pattern. Yeah. So this will be a very quick one. It just bring it back. Yeah, the angle is 100% true. You can see here. This was the pre-grinding angle, and now it sits also. The pattern already looks quite well, but because this surface is quite long, it's very hard to do it on a lapping machine, because here you have only a very, very small line where the lines are straight. So it's to do this pattern on such a heavy case, it's almost impossible. Vielen Dank, Delta Bravo. So, pre-grinding 1, pre-grinding 2. You see, even the machine is not running very fast, and you still can see how edgy all the corners will go back after polishing, because the polishing was very slightly, so we didn't ruin something. But here you can see this outer line, this will go from the polish, it will flew away very easy. And this will bring just slightly back. Spot sizes. Usually I weld with 0.5, 0.6. If I repair something, it could be also 0.2. For Rolex steel, most of the time I will use something like 1.1 milliseconds and 2.5 depths. And you need to play also with the frequency, because more frequency will have a lot more errors. So most of the people, if you see people somewhere welding with like 9 shots a second or something, and I don't think this is real by hand, because you are shaking a bit, and with 94L steel, even if you are in the wrong angle, if you're welding like this and the spot goes like that, and you are shaking with the hand only like this, the spot will go different into the metal. So if you have problems with the adjustment of the welder, go down with the frequency and try to weld a few spots and look if they are shiny, and if the metal is really like floating, like a ice cream that is melting. This is I think the best comparable thing. So now I can tell something why I'm using my DIY lapping machines. I had before, I started with a box lapping machine. So the box lapping machine is a very classic, very expensive and very, very good machine. But the box had the problem, they had a screw here and the wheels, and it was very difficult to change them. And I had on the regular machines, even if it's a huge one, you have 2 discs, one here and one there. And for example, if I'm working on more difficult cases, then it's also very grateful to have this side of the lapping machine. And if the other wheel will be here, you can't use this side, so you have to go on this machine. But this machine on the box has, then you are very, very much outside. And also I'm switching these discs. I have like, let's count, like 20 discs or something. So for each step, I'm using a own disc. And even if I'm too lazy and I need, for example, a lot discs with 320 grit, and it has to be always sharp, so I can put me on 3 discs, 320 grit, so I can work a lot faster, and the workflow is better. So the next problem on the normal machines is, first, a few machines of the old ones, they won't start at 0, yeah? So my machine can really spin almost on 0, yeah? Here you have still power, no? I can, okay, the power is not so high on this, but here you have power. I want to touch it with a finger. So this is also a thing that was annoying. It need to start with 0. And then I did many attachments on the machine. For example, I have so many different grinding tables for different tasks. Yeah, this is a grinding table. It can go almost to 99 degrees to the lapping discs. It's not so stable, but you can put the angle very, very up. Yeah, this grinding table, we'll use it later for the case sides. It's super stable and accurate with warm wheel, very comfortable to change very quickly angles, and it has also the table goes over the complete lapping discs. So you will see when I'm doing the sides, I will do them by hand, and finish. So I'm using the whole disc, not like on modern machines. They always have the attachment here, so you can only use this small surface on the wheel. So I don't like it. And then many lapping disc machines doesn't allow to put any attachment on it. Yeah, and I have rubber wheels for my lapping machine. I can use, wait, normal chucks. I'm using them a lot, so you just put them in for a case back or something. It's very easy. So that's why I'm using my own lapping machines. So I have 3 discs, and the cool thing on my machines, and what I think is very, very unique, is that the angle of the machine is on all of them, on all 3 machines, is the same. So if I'm working here on, let's say, 320 grit, and I want to change the grid size, I don't need to change the disk. I can just change the table and go to this machine. So you can work with parallel very, very quickly. And you will see now when we do the sunburst grinding pattern, I did here the pre-lapping of the surface, then again to reshape it a bit. And now I can take this table in the really exact correct angle and just put it here. Doesn't look so fancy, yeah, but it's the exact same angle. So we just put it here. No adjustment, nothing. So this really makes my life a lot easier. More light. Schöne Grüße nach Paderborn zurück. So I switched now the table from the lapping machine to the belt sander. I don't have to control the angle because the angle is 100% correct. So this belt grinder doesn't need to run with so much RPM. And as you see now, when I do the sunburst grinding pattern, it's the exact angle. Wait. It's the same. And here you will get straight lines, yeah? Because it goes down. You don't need to think too much here. Now I will try to turn in one round quite fluently. Under the light. Is it visible? Yeah. We have this nice edgy sunburst grinding pattern. All lines are straight. And the thing is, on the Mark II, when you buy one in the internet, most of the times they have a wrong finish, because here is also a sunburst grinding pattern. It's here, and many polisher, they will polish this surface because they are not able to do here a sunburst grinding pattern, or they will lap it on something, or I don't know. So the second case I will do quickly the sunburst grinding pattern as well. fine for that. Back again to the lapping machine. So from the pre-grinding of the sides, I also use this table, so it has already the correct angle as well. I will just put it back to place. And then I'm doing the sides pattern. I could do it also if I switch my my belt grinder, for example, this one to horizontal, I can do it as well. But I like to do on vintage cases, I like to do it by hand. So here is 180 grit, so it's the wrong grit size, but I lap them straight lines with 320, so I give them just to break those lines. I give them very, very quick breaking. This will make my life easier later. Yeah, that's enough. Only to break the pre-lapping or pre-grinding lines. Here they are a bit deeper. Also fine. Okay. So, just for me, it's the best sandpaper in the world. Bosch Expert, not so cheap, but it will give a nice brushing. So, this is just a simple 320 new sandpaper. And wait, I will need to go here. And now it has just to sit somehow on the disc, yeah. And now I will do the brushing by hand. Looks great, doesn't it? So, quickly doing it. I will check in the light if there is anything wrong with the pattern. Maybe I should do once a Q&R for lightning. Lightning is, I think, also one of the most important thing. I don't know if you have ever seen it in the video, but I have everywhere, I have lights. Everywhere. This one has 6,000 lumens, so it's very, very bright here. Lightning. My electricity bill will be high if it's always on here, the lights, but still without light, not a good work. To refinish them now, very easy. Yeah, that's it. So, last step of the Mark II case, we will go to this machine. I will quickly remove the table and the disc. It's the wrong one. 320. And here comes a cool toy. So we will go here. Here you can see a few more Mark II cases. Not sure if I will finish them today. What's the time here? Oh, almost 11, yeah. And I'm in the workshop until 8 in the morning, so enough. Yeah. I will use this modern lapping vise. What is quite really a cool vise. It has a very smart attachment. The vices are smart and they have a quite big range because they are built different from the from other vices I'm using. Here the attachment is different from those vices. They will have a pin inside spread out from the pin like that, and this one here has, I don't know what's the word in English, but it's a conus that is inside the vices, and this will allow the vise really to straighten up in a quite big range, way more range than these vices. So a Mark II vise here, and the case should just snap on very, very easy. You can see I don't have to tighten it, it's just I built it this for the Mark II cases, so it will fit perfectly. I tighten here, yeah. So we go to the lapping machine. This vise is 3-axis, so we want to lap this surface here, also with Sunburst grinding pattern, yeah. So I'm using this machine because here you can see from this angle, I will do it from the downside, yeah. So the angle I controlled is a bit more in the plus. You can go also minus and lap the downside, but here it's the most important thing that we will be almost in the middle, yeah. The closest we can get to the middle. So next important thing is that we just put a bit angle. It should be minimum, like maybe 2-3 degrees, 4 maximum. Here you can see only a small gap. Yeah, it should be the smallest angle that is possible. Maybe we can turn also a bit even closer, but this angle is for a Mark II very fine. So you will see the angle is enough that the case will turn afterwards from alone like that. And if you have a more difficult angle, a higher one, then this machine makes sense. It's the spindle is higher, so if the angle gets higher, I can still get to the center. Yeah, what is here impossible. If the angle is here higher on this machine, I can't lap here. I can't lap a straight line. Yeah. So I will start the machine, and then you will see the magic on the middle part, on the central. Doesn't need to be pushed so much. Yep. I'm fine with that. That's it. So we did the Sunburst grinding pattern to the top and here to this small wing. And if you see macros, for example, on my Instagram or something, when I take a shot, it's so nice if the papers are the same from this surface to that, because then if you are almost correct with the angle, then the lines will go from here to here, what is impossible to do. Yeah, so you have to be here very accurate on that surface and on that as well, that it really looks nice that the line goes from here and then down. This will make the Mark II effect. And the Mark II has a few problems. If you look carefully in the internet, this can spread out as well here, this chamfer, yeah. If somebody is doing it wrong, then it can go here to this surface, or it can go, the worst thing is if it goes here inside, yeah, then it looks horrible, this case. And very, very important also is the straight finish here. This surface looks so well when it's lapped and sharp. And you have the play always between this, the surface mix here, straight pattern, sunburst pattern, Polish lapped surfaces. I really like this case. Cool watch. So, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and let me know if you want me to stream a little bit more often or to other cases. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment. I will try to reply to this. Thanks. Bye-bye. Have a good night.